10 incredible facts about Jupiter. Jupiter is the celestial body, meanwhile, is the largest planet in the solar system. It also may be the most important to us, after Earth itself, since it changed the way we viewed Earth, the solar system, ourselves, and the universe we call home. Join us while we explore incredible facts about Jupiter. Number 10. The rings of Jupiter. NASA was pleasantly surprised in 1979 when the Voyager 1 spacecraft discovered 3 rings around the equator of Jupiter. These rings are much fainter than the rings of Saturn, so could not be detected with Earth-based scientific instruments. The main ring is around 30 kilometers thick, 6 kilometers wide, and flat. The inner ring called halo is some 20,000 kilometers thick. The halo of this inner ring extends about half of the way down to the tops of the uppermost cloud layer, and expands by interacting with the powerful magnetic field of Jupiter. Planetary scientists think that the rings of both Saturn and Jupiter may be due to impacts from celestial objects such as asteroids and comets. Number 9. The King of Spin. Jupiter takes just under 10 hours to complete a full rotation on its axis, compared with 24 hours here on Earth. A day on Jupiter varies from 9 hours and 56 minutes at both poles, to 9 hours and 50 minutes around the equator of the giant planet. This exceedingly fast rotation causes Jupiter to bulge out at the equator and flatten at top, causing the giant to be around 7% wider at the equator than it is at the poles. This rotation speed is exceptional, which allows it to reign high in yet another category, the shortest day in the planetary system. Being a gaseous planet, Jupiter rotates 27 times faster than the Earth. Number 8. The incredible magnetic field. With a magnetic field almost 20,000 times stronger than that of the Earth, Jupiter is by far the magnetic king of our planetary system. Using an intensified band of electrons, Jupiter traps electrically charged particles that continuously bombard the system with a level of radiation over 1,000 times that of the fatal level for human beings. This radiation is so intense that it can damage even the most heavily shielded NASA spacecraft, like the Galileo probe. Jupiter has a magnetosphere that reaches out a mind-boggling 3 million kilometers in the direction of the Sun, trailing off into a tail that extends an even more mind-boggling 1 billion kilometers behind the gas giant, extending into Saturn's orbit. Number 7. The Great Red Spot. Besides the possibility of diamonds raining down from the atmosphere, the feature that stands out the most on Jupiter has got to be the giant, 300-year-old superstorm called the Great Red Spot. Rotating counterclockwise, the Great Red Spot is at its widest over 3 times the diameter of Earth. Winds in the center blow at 450 kilometers an hour. The Great Red Spot constantly changes in size, and sometimes even seems to disappear, only to return every time. Number 6. Miniature solar system. As the largest planet in the solar system, Jupiter has more than twice the mass of rest of the solar system combined, not counting the Sun. Jupiter has an atmosphere very much like a star, consisting mainly of hydrogen and helium, and planetary scientists think that had it gotten about 80 times larger, it would have turned into a star. As it is, With its 4 massive moons and many other smaller ones, Jupiter is a miniature solar system in and of itself. Jupiter is so massive that over 1,300 Earth-sized planets would be required to match the volume of the gas giant. Number 5. Monstrous atmosphere of Jupiter, a nightmare. The atmospheric composition of Jupiter is a chemical smorgasbord consisting of 89.2% molecular hydrogen and 10.2% helium. The rest of the atmosphere is made up of trace amounts of ammonia, hydrogen deuteride, methane, ethane, water, ammonia ice aerosols, water ice aerosols, and ammonia hydrosulfide aerosols. A chemical nightmare as far as human life is concerned. The enormous gas giant has a dense inner core of currently unknown composition, which is completely encompassed by a thick layer of helium-enriched, fluid metallic hydrogen, all rolled up into an atmosphere made up mainly of molecular hydrogen. Number 4. Jupiter's moon Callisto, the most heavily cratered body. Yet even another bragging point for Jupiter is Callisto, the most heavily cratered object in the solar system. Callisto is the farthest out of the 4 Galilean moons, and takes around 1 Earth week to orbit its giant host planet. Since it orbits out beyond the radiation belt of Jupiter, Callisto suffers from less tidal influences than any of the other Galilean moons. Since it is tidally locked like our own moon, the same side of Callisto always stays faced at Jupiter. Number 3. The biggest radio. Another area in which Jupiter excels is the blasts of powerful natural radio waves it produces, creating eerie noises when received by the antennas of shortwave radios here on Earth. The radio waves, though inaudible to the human ear, can make for some strange entertainment when converted to audio signals by Earthbound radio equipment. Most astrophysicists theorize that ionized gases above Jupiter and its magnetic poles occasionally act as a very strong radio laser, producing radiation so intense that the gas giant quite often outshines even the Sun as a radio energy source of shortwave radio wavelengths. Number 2. The protector of planets. Since it's the largest body in the solar system besides the Sun, the gravitational forces Jupiter produces may have assisted in literally shaping the rest of the solar system, and maybe even allowing life to exist as it does today. In fact, scientists are now pretty sure that the gas giant is keeping some asteroids from impacting the Earth. Current data shows the gravitational field of Jupiter has a strong influence on many asteroids that have gathered into the areas directly before and right after the giant planet during its trip around the Sun. Number 1. Jupiter and Earth have the same size core. Scientists postulate that Jupiter has an inner core that is 10 times smaller than the entire planet Earth is, with the aforementioned layer of liquid metallic hydrogen making up 80 to 90% of the diameter of the entire planet. The diameter of Earth is just under 13,000 kilometers, so the core of Jupiter should be just under 1,300 kilometers across. This makes it the same size as the core of the Earth, which is thought to be around 1,200 kilometers in diameter.